The lights of America's Got Talent burn like stars above the vast stage, illuminating every shimmer of the polished floor. The camera pans across thousands of faces, some excited, some skeptical, as the audience buzzes with anticipation. The familiar AGT theme fades, and the announcer's voice echoes. Greater than, next up, all the way from the Philippines, please welcome Ramon de la Cruz. The crowd cheers, but it's polite, curious, not yet convinced. From the backstage curtain emerges a man in his mid-30s, dressed simply in a white button-up shirt and faded jeans. No glitter, no big show costume, just a quiet confidence hidden beneath nerves. He holds the microphone like it's both a lifeline and a burden. As he walks toward the center mark on the stage, the camera zooms in. His eyes dart briefly to the audience, then down to his trembling hands. The massive stage swallows him. His footsteps echo. It's clear he's never stood on a platform this grand before. Simon Cowell leans forward, elbows on the desk. Sofia Vergara and Heidi Klum smile warmly, trying to ease the tension radiating from the stage. Howie Mandel adjusts his glasses, intrigued. Simon breaks the silence. Greater than Simon, hello there. What's your name? Ramon, softly, my name is Ramon de la Cruz, I'm from the Philippines. A few people clap. Ramon smiles shyly, shifting his weight from one foot to the other. Greater than Simon, welcome, Ramon. What are you going to do for us today? Ramon, I'll be singing an Elvis Presley song. He's been my idol since I was a boy. The audience reacts with light laughter and cheers. Elvis songs have been done countless times before, everyone knows that. The judges exchange glances, Simon's expression softens but remains cautious. Greater than Simon, Elvis, huh? That's a big name to take on. Why Elvis? Ramon inhales deeply before answering. Greater than Ramon, because my father used to sing his songs to me every night when I was little. He told me, son, one day you'll sing for the world. He passed away a few years ago, so today, I want to sing this for him. The atmosphere in the room changes instantly. The playful energy quiets down. Even the audience seems to feel the weight behind his words. A hush falls over the crowd as the camera zooms on his face, gentle, emotional, determined. Sophia clasps her hands together and whispers softly, that's beautiful. Simon nods, his eyes narrowing with respect. Greater than Simon, all right, Ramon. We're ready when you are. Ramon steps back, takes one deep breath, and closes his eyes. The lights dim slightly. A soft, golden spotlight focuses on him. The opening chords of Can't Help Falling in Love begin to play, gentle, familiar, timeless. For a moment, he doesn't move. He just stands there, frozen, breathing in the air, the music, the memory. Then, as if channeling something deep within, his voice emerges, low, trembling, but filled with warmth. Greater than, wise men say, only fools rush in. The crowd immediately quiets. The softness in his tone cuts through the air like silk. His accent is subtle, his phrasing gentle, but what catches everyone is the emotion, pure, sincere, and utterly human. Camera 2 zooms in on Simon's face. His usual skeptical smirk fades. His brows lift slightly, impressed. The production team behind the scenes whisper into headsets, realizing something magical is happening. Ramon opens his eyes mid-verse, and they glisten under the lights. He gazes at the ceiling, as if seeing his father somewhere above the stage. Greater than, but I can't help falling in love with you. The vibrato in his voice grows steadier, more confident. He lifts his left hand slightly as if reaching towards something invisible. The spotlight follows his movement, isolating him in golden light. The massive AGT logo glows faintly. In the background, framing him like a star reborn. Cut to the audience, tears glint on a woman's cheek in the front row. A man presses his lips together, shaking his head in disbelief. Back to the stage, Raymond's voice swells with power. The second verse pours out of him like he's reliving every moment of his life. We can almost see his memories through his performance, his father teaching him to strum an old guitar on a hot Manila afternoon, the radio humming Elvis tunes, the promise of one day being heard. The band builds up subtly. A soft drumbeat joins the melody. The lighting shifts from gold to royal blue, adding emotional depth to the scene. Greater than, take my hand, take my whole life too. As he hits the bridge, his voice cracks, not from weakness but emotion. He doesn't try to hide it. The imperfection makes it real. He closes his eyes, tears beginning to form, and delivers the final line with a trembling whisper. Greater than, for I can't help falling in love with you. The note lingers. Then, silence. No one moves. Even Simon's usual post-performance comments are delayed. Raymond's shoulders tremble as he exhales, realizing it's over. The camera captures the faintest tear rolling down his cheek. Then, slowly, someone in the audience stands. Then another. And another. Within seconds, the entire hall is on its feet, clapping and cheering. Ramon bows, his hands covering his mouth, overwhelmed. The lights brighten again, reflecting the shimmer in his tears. He whispers quietly to himself, barely caught by the mic. Greater than, that was for you, Papa. The judges are still speechless. Heidi presses a hand to her heart. Sophia's eyes glisten as she smiles through tears. Howie leans toward Simon and murmurs, that was special. Simon doesn't speak yet. He just nods slowly, the faintest smile forming on his lips. The screen fades to black. The music swells. The music begins, soft, nostalgic, and hauntingly familiar. Can't Help Falling in Love flows through the massive America's Got Talent arena like a whisper from another era. Every person in the audience leans forward, and every camera angle tightens around the man in the spotlight, Ramon de la Cruz, the quiet Filipino contestant who just moments ago looked terrified to even speak. Now, under the lights, he transforms. The first line emerges from his lips, low and smooth. Greater than, wise men say, only fools rush in. It's not just the tone. It's the feeling. His voice trembles with sincerity, like each syllable carries a memory. His hands move gently in rhythm, his face soft, his eyes closed. From the judges' table, the camera captures Simon Cowell's expression changing, from casual curiosity to astonishment. His brows furrow. His head tilts slightly. For someone who has heard thousands of voices, this one feels different, not polished, not perfect, but pure. The crowd has gone completely silent. You can hear the faint hum of the stage lights, the soft whir of camera lenses adjusting focus. The director in the control booth whispers to the crew, stay on his face. Don't cut. Stay with him. Ramon opens his eyes as he reaches the next verse. They glimmer beneath the spotlight, reflecting both pain and hope. Greater than, but I can't help falling in love with you. The moment feels almost suspended, like time itself has slowed down to listen. As he sings, his mind drifts back home, to a small, weathered house in Manila. The sound of a radio playing Elvis. His father sitting on a wooden chair, smiling, tapping his foot as they sang together. The smell of coffee. The sound of rain on the tin roof. That's what his voice carries, not imitation, but memory. The music builds, subtly, almost imperceptibly. The strings swell behind him. The blue lighting deepens, bathing him in a soft, melancholy hue. Sofia Vergara is already misty-eyed. Heidi Klum whispers to her, he's not just singing. He's telling a story. Simon leans forward, elbows on the desk now, eyes locked on Ramon. The camera cuts to the audience, couples holding hands, people swaying gently. One woman wipes her tears, another clutches her chest. The performance has transcended language and genre. Raymond's voice rises, and he leans slightly toward the mic, emotion pouring from him. Greater than, like a river flows, surely to the sea. The tone is rich, yet delicate, every note shaped by years of quiet struggle. He's no superstar with a vocal coach or stage crew. He's a man who sang to survive, at weddings, in karaoke bars, in small-town events, and tonight, he's finally being heard. Behind the judges, the massive LED screen shows golden streaks flowing across a dark background, like a river of light. It wasn't planned. The production crew noticed the emotion and adjusted the visuals to match the feeling in real time. The magic isn't just from his voice, it's from the moment. Ramon closes his eyes again as he reaches the bridge. Greater than, darling, so it goes, some things are meant to be. His voice cracks slightly, not from error, but from heartbreak. The audience feels it. The crack becomes a symbol of truth, the kind of imperfection that makes a performance human. He takes one step forward, closer to the edge of the stage. The spotlight follows. His left hand trembles, then steadies. His right hand clutches the microphone tightly. The music dips, giving him space to breathe. He opens his eyes again, looking up, as if seeing someone beyond the lights. Greater than, take my hand, take my whole life too. For that line, his voice grows stronger. The fear is gone. The tremor in his hands disappears. He's not performing anymore, he's connecting. Every word is a message to his father, every note a memory released into the air. Behind him, the AGT background turns into a sea of soft white lights, thousands of tiny orbs floating like stars. The audience gasps at the beauty. He ends with one final breath, his voice fading into near silence. Greater than, for I can't help falling in love with you. The final word, you, echoes through the hall, clean, vulnerable, aching. The lights dim for a heartbeat after the last note. The silence that follows is electric. Not a single person moves. Then, an explosion of applause. The camera captures the audience leaping to their feet in unison, clapping, cheering, shouting his name. Ramon lowers the microphone, breathing heavily, eyes wet. His chest rises and falls as he tries to process what just happened. Back at the judges' table, Simon turns to his fellow judges, speechless for once. He nods slightly, lips pressed together, eyes glimmering. Heidi's makeup is streaked with tears. Sophia has both hands covering her mouth, whispering, "That was beautiful." Howie leans toward his mic. Greater than Howie. That's one of those moments you never forget. The camera cuts to a wide aerial shot, the entire AGT stage glowing gold, confetti still waiting above for what might come next. Ramon steps back, overcome. He looks down at the stage floor, whispering something only the mic catches. Greater than, thank you, Papa. He doesn't realize the camera zooms in as he says it. That moment becomes a clip that will later go viral online, millions of people replaying that single whisper, that one word of love. The music fades, the crowd continues to cheer, and Simon finally breaks his silence. Greater than Simon. Ramon, when you walked out here, I thought, oh no, not another Elvis impersonation. But then you sang, and I realized this isn't Elvis. This is you. And you have one of the most soulful voices we've ever heard on this show. The audience roars again. Raymond's eyes widen, he bows deeply. Cut to the slow motion shot. Confetti triggers early by accident, golden flakes falling like blessings. Ramon stands in the storm of gold, hands on his face, crying freely now. The camera lingers one last time, close up on his tearful smile under the warm lights. The background fades into blur. The voiceover for the episode's trailer would later say, the last golden note still hangs in the air. The massive America's Got Talent arena stands frozen, an ocean of faces caught between silence and awe. Then, suddenly, the silence shatters. The audience erupts. Cheers, applause, whistles, a thunderous storm of emotion fills the hall. Ramon Dela Cruz stands at center stage, completely still. His microphone hand trembles as tears stream down his face. He looks stunned, as if he's unsure if this is real or a dream. The camera pans across the judges' table, all four are visibly moved. Heidi Klum's mascara has run down her cheek, and Sofia Vergara wipes her eyes with a tissue. Howie Mandel presses both palms together, smiling softly. But Simon Cowell, known for his stern demeanor, looks different. His eyes glisten, and for a few seconds, he doesn't even speak. The camera zooms in on him, the audience quiets again, sensing what's coming. Simon leans toward the microphone, his voice lower and slower than usual. Greater than Simon. Ramon, when you walked out, I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, I thought, okay, another Elvis impersonator. The crowd chuckles softly, remembering their own skepticism. Greater than Simon pauses, but what you just did, that wasn't an imitation. That was emotion. That was truth. And that's what great performances are made of. A single clap starts in the audience, then spreads like wildfire until the entire hall is clapping again. Ramon bows, tears still falling freely. Greater than Heidi, you made me cry. I mean, your voice, it's beautiful, but the way you sang, it felt like we were inside your heart. You brought Elvis back, but also, you brought yourself. Greater than Sophia, I could feel the love in every note. The way you looked up at the ceiling, I knew you were singing for someone. It made me cry because it was so real. Ramon nods, clutching his chest. His voice quivers. Greater than Ramon, I sang this, for my father. He passed away before he could see this day. A collective awe sweeps through the audience. The camera captures people crying openly now, An older woman in the front row, a teenager with his hand over his mouth, even one of the stage crew members backstage blinking away tears. Greater than Howie, your father would be proud, Ramon. You didn't just honor him, you honored everyone who's ever dreamed big but didn't have the chance to be heard. The audience claps again, louder this time. The energy feels electric, like something sacred is unfolding. Simon glances to his right at the big golden buzzer in front of him. The crowd catches it instantly, they start chanting. Greater than, press it. Press it. Press it. The camera switches to wide shot, the 4 judges sitting in a golden glow, the audience on their feet, confetti launchers ready, and Ramon standing there, shaking, hands clasped together as if praying. Simon raises a hand to quiet the crowd. He takes a deep breath and speaks softly. Greater than Simon. You know, Ramon, every once in a while, someone walks onto this stage and reminds us why we do this show. You did that tonight. You reminded us what real music, real soul, sounds like. He pauses. The crowd goes silent again. Greater than Simon, and I think your father would be very proud right now. With that, Simon slams the golden buzzer. The hall explodes. The sound of the buzzer echoes through the arena, followed instantly by a burst of golden confetti from above. It rains down in a shimmering storm, catching the light and swirling around Ramon like a halo. The music swells, an orchestral remix of Elvis's Can't Help Falling in Love plays in the background. Ramon collapses to his knees, overwhelmed, hands covering his face. The camera zooms in on his expression, raw joy mixed with disbelief. Tears pour freely as the confetti coats his hair and shoulders. Simon stands, clapping. Sophia and Heidi rush to the stage, wrapping Ramon in a hug. The crowd chants his name, Ramon. 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 The camera pulls back for a breathtaking wide shot, the golden rain falling endlessly, the judges standing in applause, the audience glowing under warm lights. The director's voice crackles over the control room radio. Greater than, we just captured magic. Back on stage, Ramon rises slowly, wiping his face. His voice trembles as he speaks into the mic. Greater than Ramon. When I was a boy, my father used to tell me that if you sing with your heart, people will feel it, even if they don't understand your words. Thank you, everyone, thank you for feeling it. Simon smiles, nodding. Greater than Simon, you didn't just make us feel it, Ramon. You made us believe again. The camera lingers on Raymond's face as he looks up toward the ceiling, whispering something softly, unheard by most, but the close-up mic catches it. Greater than, this one's for you, Papa. The lights fade slightly, focusing only on him. He looks around the massive theater, taking in every face, every tear, every clap. It's the moment of a lifetime, the one his father dreamed of, the one he carried across oceans, across years of doubt. Behind the scenes, producers and crew members quietly wipe tears. The judges exchange looks, the kind that say this is the performance everyone will remember this season. As the confetti continues to fall, the music softens, the camera circles slowly around Ramon, capturing his tear-streaked face against the golden backdrop. The AGT logo glows behind him like a sun. In the broadcast version, this is where the editors insert slow-motion shots. Simon pressing the golden buzzer, his face serious and emotional. Ramon falling to his knees as confetti bursts around him. Sophia's tears as she claps and smiles. The audience rising like a wave, arms in the air, cheering for a man who came from halfway across the world to sing his heart out. The final shot freezes on Ramon, eyes closed, hands clasped together, whispering thank you under a shower of light. Then the screen fades to black. White text appears over the fade out. Greater than, Ramon de la Cruz, the Filipino Elvis. A moment the world will never forget. Soft piano music plays as the credits roll, clips of audience members outside the studio saying things like, that was unreal, and, he made us cry. In one clip, Simon says to the camera backstage, greater than, every now and then, a singer doesn't just perform, they connect. Ramon did that tonight. He's not just a voice. He's a story. The episode closes with Ramon walking off stage, clutching his chest, tears still flowing, but this time, they're tears of joy.